This is the Mercedes-Benz A45 S, and we're here to find out if it's better than the new Golf R.
Okay guys, I'm now sat in the front of the A45 S, and I'd like to just start with the seating position of the car. Obviously the seats are finished with a nice yellow stitching. You have a mix of Alcantara over here with a soft leather around here. You have your pillars on the side here, a decent headrest, obviously being from Mercedes, with some more general yellow stitching going throughout the car. And I'd just like to say that the seats are obviously comfortable. It is a German car brand from Mercedes, one of the top German car brands. They are one of the holy trinity from Germany, if you were to say. But I must say, the Renault Megane RS that we sat in last week, to me actually felt a bit more comfortable, and that is even more race spec than what this is. And so it's a bit weird. Not saying this is uncomfortable, but in comparison I feel as if that was a bit more comfortable. And we'll come to the side here. You have this soft touch looking. It's not really that soft, so it does feel a bit plasticky, a bit hard, even though it's a covered plastic. Then there's a nice brushed aluminium with your ambient light, which runs through the whole display over here. Then you have your Alcantara. As you'll find in this car, there is quite a bit of Alcantara and aluminium running through here. You have your storage down here, which isn't that much. It's enough for a cup and some other little pieces. And you come to the steering wheel, where you can see this gets used quite often, or used, and when used it doesn't look that great, I should say. And there you get your leather with the Alcantara mix, obviously your AMG badge to tell you you're in an AMG. You've got all your controls for your volume, your displays, your settings, your limiters. Then you've got your fully digital screen here. Eugene will speak more about that soon. And then obviously, being a Merc, as you can hear, some ASMR. These are really nice shifter paddles. Merc really does do that well. It is a performance Merc, and so it is really done well. I have some good headrest in the car, and head spacing, I should say. Obviously this has the sunroof, so you get that little bit of extra spacing. And then the dash, we can move on here. It does have a decent sound system as well. And but yeah, the general quality sitting in the front of the car is actually not too bad. It's a Merc, like I said, but it does lack a bit in a few small places, and we'll let Eugene tell you how it is sitting in the side.
Now that I'm in the passenger seat of this A45 S, I just wanted to speak about the general comfort as a passenger. So it's kind of fine, although, you know, as Mateo was speaking earlier, the seat does feel like it's brushing up against your body, whether it's the bottom or the back side. But I also want to speak about the older MBUX system, not like new Mercedes cars, like where the screen is more like this, more at an angle of like the sun, where it like can shift up and go up and down. So I just want to speak upon like how user friendly it is. It's also a touch screen, which is very surprising, because before Mercedes never really used to use touch screens, and you know, it's kind of surprising. It's kind of nice, you know, as a person who loves touch screens, I actually prefer a touch screen, although many other people prefer having not having a touchscreen because it does make marks. But to me, that just shows that a car, it has more value when it has a touchscreen. So in general, it's very nice in here. You do feel a bit cocooned, you know, because it is a small car. It is a hatchback after all. It's not like an E63 or a C63, so it's kind of fine in here. So as you can see here, here's your dial pad for like controlling the infotainment system, as you can see there. And you get that little click just to reassure you that yes, everything works and everything is fine. So yes, you get all that. You get your, mainly this is for your vehicle and setting it up on how it is. So if I press that, well, the ignition has to be on, so like you can dial up how soft the suspension you want it to be, or how hard you want it to be. Then this as well, I don't know what this really is but in previous Mercedes models, like the AMG cars or the previous generation AMG cars, this was actually the gear shift. So like you would actually have to click it like that, and I'll put a picture up so that you can see. So I don't know why Mercedes put this here, because they should have just left it. And so this is for pressing into manual mode, so that the gearbox can actually go into manual mode. So as you can use the paddle shifters right there. In general, comfort space it's very nice. You know, you get a little light down there. It's pretty fine in here, although maybe it's not the best because it is a hatchback after all, and you can see where most of their resources were actually supposed to go. But now let's actually head into the rear space of this A45.
Okay guys, I'm now in the back end of the Mercedes A45 S, and I must say it is quite comfortable, this being our seating positions here for the car. I have a lot of leg room, a lot of headroom, and there's just quite a bit of general space. It's a lot more spacious in the back end than what it is in the front end. Obviously you're surrounded here You have your Alcantara on the top or outer layer of your leather seats, which are similarly designed to your front seats. You have space here, little mesh space there, a little space here for your charging ports, and I don't know what this is actually for, because I don't know what you can place in there, but Merc thought it was useful, so it might be useful. But yeah, generally still in the back, it is quite a comfortable space. You have your same finish with this soft type of feeling on the top of the plastic as you do in the front. It's finished with the Alcantara, and you have your speaker systems as well. It's got a nice handrest here with more aluminium finish, and then a small space here for a bottle and maybe something else that's quite small inside. But otherwise, let's move outside of the car and talk about the performance and the design of the car.
Now that we're actually at the front of this car, I want to speak about the styling. So the thing with an A45 S is it's based off a regular A-Class. So if it wasn't for these carbon fiber skirts and canards and all these elements, it would generally look like a regular A45. Although they're very cool in my mind, but it just makes it look a lot more meaner, a lot more angrier, a lot more performance-y, if that's even a word. So actually these wheels right here, when I first saw this car, I thought they were actually carbon fiber wheels, like from the factory, but they were actually just dipped in carbon. So like this is more of like a paint texture instead of like actual carbon weave. That's very nice. It's very cool to actually see, something to brag about when your friends have a normal A45. Another surprising thing is that the brakes actually look a lot larger than the wheels themselves, which is very nice and very shocking. But actually, if you need a car like this, you do need some very good performance brakes, and I'm pretty sure if this was brand new, these brakes would have costed a lot of money. So if the person who ever had this before probably paid a lot of money, so if you're getting this, you're getting a bargain. But this is actually nice, you know. It's still got a carbon fiber mirror cap over here. That's very cool. Carbon fiber door handle, and it's a very sleek looking hatchback. I almost said sedan, but it's a very sleek looking hatchback, you know. And then you get this extra wing right here. Although on some 8045s, it's kind of surprising that they don't have this wing. But if I were to buy this car, I'd honestly have the wing, because honestly it's a performance car, so you just needed to shout, you know, I'm a performance guy or performance lad at the end of the day. So yeah, let's actually talk about the engine now.
And at the front end of the car, which is possibly my favorite part of the car, obviously being a performance freak, this is where the performance comes from. So inside here you do have an inline 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol motor, and obviously you can see the really nice view over there of the turbo coming through from the intercooler. Now this car is running 415 horsepower, which is up from the previous generation, and that's around, call it 315 kilowatts of power. It does also have 500 newton meters of torque, which will rocket you to 100 kilometers an hour in around 4 seconds, maybe sub 4 claimed, but being a Mercedes it might be slightly slower, but also could be a bit quicker depending on where you are and what you're doing. But obviously this motor is a powerhouse for a 4-cylinder, possibly one of the most powerful 4-cylinders you can buy on the market. And pairing that with all-wheel drive in a sleek hatchback like this car is really undermined in performance figures. The performance figures for this car on the Nürburgring aren't as pleasing as what you think they are, being slower than a Megane RS and its optimal rival, the RS3, which is now 8 seconds faster than this on the Nürburgring, which in car terms is like another year and a half. And that isn't even the RS3 performance model, which will now be quick on the Nürburgring and is priced around the same as what you get this for. So overall, this performance is absolutely great. The car is a really great performance car, especially for a hatchback, but it could be better around the track.
Guys, now that we've reached the end of this review, is it better than the new Golf R? I think yes it is, because after all it is a Mercedes, and I think I'll pick a Mercedes over a VW any day, considering it's a lot cheaper than the new Golf R, which is still surprising to say. But thank you for watching. You know, we always love these guys, Infinite Auto. We always love coming back to them. If you want to keep seeing reviews like this, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.